It's like it just go out to a stream of water and watch it move across the rocks. And you'll see little vortexes, which are electricity. You'll see those vortexes go in, which is electrostatic electricity. You'll see those vortexes go out, which is magnetic electricity. You'll see water get pulled into areas, which is electrostatic. You'll see it get pushed out, which is a magnetic effect, right? You'll see all these stuff, but you'll go, that's none of these things, that's water. Or you'll look at like smoke just moving through a room, and you'll see all these different shapes form. You're looking at all the phenomena of the whole universe in a room full of smoke. It's the same thing as literally you look up in the stars and you see like how these galaxies and stuff form when they get those pictures and whatnot. You will see the same electrical phenomena in the stars, in the universes, or the galaxies, the way they form. All that stuff that you'll see in a room with a smoke, or that you'll see on the surface of a creek moving across rocks. Sorry, I'm getting very esoteric because it is incredibly esoteric the second you start to realize how all these things are working. So they're attacking us with this energy, this electricity, this oscillation that they put into different designs, different apertures basically. And these apertures are interacting with conductive materials in our body. Now, these conductive materials in our body are very smart. That's what nanomachinery is, right? So to maintain this, right, as we know these things now, to maintain this, they constantly have to be flooding us with aerosols, which are conductive materials, okay? And then, not only that, they've got to always be refocusing these apertures in and out, and in and out, right, in distance from each other. And then the frequencies that these different shapes, basically like this, emit, whether it's magnetic predominant or electrostatic predominant, has to always be changing to deal with what we're doing. So really what we've done is we've figured out how to do what they're doing with point source technology. This is point source. We are dealing with the ether itself. They are dealing with batteries, chemicals, all these different things to produce these oscillations, which we could get into too potentially later on. But the power is here in the shapes and these conductive and these different materials. Shape, form, and function. The form is the material, the function is the shape. But you change you see how I said that backwards? Because it's true. You change the form of something, you can change the function. That's what we just did here, right? This is like how speakers work, by the way. It's the same idea, except for the ring on the inside is smaller. But it's the same idea. And that ring is connected to electricity, and it oscillates in a different tempos to make different sounds, different electrostatic fields that we hear, because that's what we're hearing. Sorry, again, I'm getting way off here. But you guys get what I'm saying? I know a lot of you don't because you haven't been doing the work at all. But I know a lot of you have been doing the work. Sorry, go ahead.
We're creating a vortex.
Well, in this case, it's creating an implosion, which is, yes, it vortexes for a second. It's like twisting. It's going like this, and it's becoming one stream, and then the stream is dissipating. Again, just like a shower head with one ring of water at a very low pressure. It's very similar. I mean, it's not the same thing. It's very similar, though. But that's one shape, right? One way we've contorted the electrostatic field emission. There's many ways we can contort the electrostatic field emission, well, I didn't say that right, expulsion for many different ways, like for many different effects. And in fact, it's going to be through the balancing of these different field effects that we're emitting from these things that we're building that's going to enable us to not be targeted. Well, not feel the effects of directed energy weapons. Well, that's not even right either. To not be debilitated by the directed energy weapons, which is what we're really after. I know ultimately, Sandy, I hear what you're saying, that it's like it's a pain in the ass, and it's like, when will this stop? But as long as there's people on the other side aiming these things at us, it will always be part of our lives to some extent. Okay,
Oh,
until they
I
stop.
get it. I
Yeah.
just spend 2 hours. I spend literally, I get ready for work and I spend 45 minutes putting protection on. And
Hmm.
I mean, I don't even think anything of it, actually. It's just that
Hmm.
when, I mean, God, they just keep switching it. And then I mean, it's like a mathematical game with a bunch of morons.
Well, yeah, and don't.
It's
Hey,
frustrating.
you're right. You're right. But they're not morons. Okay. See, you've got the advantage here. You're going first in every move. That's your big advantage. And not only that, you've got another huge advantage too. You can feel, right? And feeling is far greater than knowing these mathematical equations. The guys on the other side are messing with very long form mathematics. That's what they're doing. All right, they're not dumb by any means. They're morally retarded, is what they are. They're morally stunted. They're the moral equivalents of, you know, pubescent children, to be more or less 9-year-old, 10, something like that. But they're not dumb by any means. So don't mistake them as being uneducated, because the guys in your environment, Sandy, that have been called out now are physicists. There's no two ways about it. They cannot do what they're doing to you, and this is true of anyone moving through the paradigm. They cannot do what they're doing to you without having some high-level scientist near them on retainer. That's why the universities are involved. If you look at, all the universities that are involved in this, it's endless. There's always an endless supply of smart, well, not always, but there has been in a recent time, of smart people with very, very low morals that are taking part of this. In fact, in your case, Sandy, and this is true of a lot of people here, probably 10 people here, there are teams of people that are trying to figure out these equations. They're looking at their data and they're going, okay, this, that, we got to solve for X, make this all work. Okay, we've got the pattern. Hit her with the new frequency.
Tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.